Hello, everyone, and welcome to the debut of Congratulations, the off-script sports talk show. Of course, I'm your host, and as well, you may know him as the legend of the former, now canceled Rival Talk. So really, the legend of nothing now, I guess. Marcus, how you been, buddy?
Hey, well, I've been pretty good, and yeah, it does suck that I dominated Rival Talk's picks for 3 years, and now in order to combat that, you've just totally canceled it. I like what you do, I guess. It's very vindictive, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and I mean, the people spoke. I mean, nowadays canceling is pretty common these days, so we were going to get canceled sooner or later. So
yeah, I guess. I didn't think it would be by the creator.
Well, again, it is what it is. So
yeah. That's true.
But yeah, if you're, a usual subscriber to the channel and you watch all our Rival Talk stuff, so I guess I'm just talking to Tom here. So, this is our new talk show. Like I said, we're going to be doing this. We're going to try to do it every 2 weeks, but that may be stretched out here and there. Often, life happens. Sure. So, and then just to recap, this is the premise is basically going to be like a couple guys hanging out at the bar at the end of the week, talking sports and. Yeah, having a drink. Speaking of which, my drink of choice for this episode, I figured to kick it off. I only bust this out on special occasions, so I guess it's somewhat a special occasion. I got a nice glass of Tiramana tequila here. So I know if you see it on camera, I poured a little too much probably, but it is what it is. So
what is this? It's Tiramana. What is it called?
Tiramana. It's the Rock's tequila. If you've heard the Rock's made his own tequila. Personally,
I have not.
Yeah, personally, it's my favorite tequila. So, yeah, that's my drink this week. So, Marcus, what do you got?
Well, I got it's Tanqueray gin, and not a splash of lime juice, but a lot of lime juice, and then some soda, water. That is.
All right. Well, toast to the first episode here. Congratulations. All right. Well. I just want to put a quick FYI out there. I am working, kind of experimenting with the green screen, so I have no clue. I tested it; it did work, but I have no clue if the real thing would actually work. So just to put it out there, if in the video you're watching this and you see either A, just the green screen, B, a black screen, or whatever's back there, just know it didn't work, and it is what it is. I have a background. Hopefully, you'll see behind me, but. I don't know if it will really work, so we'll find out. I'll find out when I put it together and edit it after we're done here. So just an FYI for that. So yeah, and I want to say too, though, if you're watching, even Marcus, you yourself can choose. So if you're watching, so again, I guess I'm just talking to Tom here. If you're watching, feel free in the comments to put in ideas and suggestions for the backdrop. I will take suggestions as long as they are appropriate to use in the background. Getting my teacher mode there, school appropriate. So, yeah, as long as they're appropriate to use in the background, and I'll consider using them in future episodes. So,
all right, maybe I'll design a 3-time Rival Champs banner to put back there for old time's sake.
What's Rival Talk?
I don't know. I don't remember anymore. You're right.
So, anyways, our agenda, which as you saw at the beginning of the video, I will post the time slots of what each spot we're doing is. So if you only want to listen to our MLB part, talking about the preview of the season, or if you want to just hear our updates on NFL free agency and all that stuff going on, you can just skip ahead to those parts. That's listed there at the beginning of the time slot. So, yeah, we're going to start off with just previewing the 2023 MLB season. We're less than a week away, so I can't believe that's exciting. Exciting times.
It feels good.
Preview the M's. We're both M's fans, so we both get to actually talk about the same team this time during the season. So,
weird.
That'll be fun. And then we'll dive real quick, just update on some of the free agency stuff for our teams and around the league, and then just a quick preview of the NFL draft coming up. And then we'll do, if you want to, you could do that. This is the section of Who Cares, where if you want to talk a little about your sports stuff, and I'll take a nap while you talk about Nebraska and all their stuff, and then I can talk a little bit real quick about some soccer, and you can take your nap.
Soccer? Oh, God. Okay. If you hear snoring on the other side of the phone, then you know what it is. I've fallen asleep while you talk about Man U or whatever it is.
Oh, whoa. No, hey, that is Tom's team,
sorry,
not
Manchester
Man U.
City. Sorry, Man City. Sorry, my bad.
And then finally we'll wrap it up with what I'm calling right now dugout talk, which is just we'll talk about maybe any good shows we're watching or games we're playing at the moment. So stuff outside of sports and all that. So
I like that.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started.
I'm just going to go a little dugout real quick. I'm depressed that The Last of Us is over.
Oh yeah,
Quite depressed.
That I guess we'll get to that. Yes. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started then with our MLB 2023 season preview. So we'll just kind of go through and give our quick predictions for division winners, wild cards, and then we'll take a shot in the dark with World Series because I feel like baseball is really the hardest to ever predict.
Yes.
That's why usually when I do predictions for baseball teams, the season and all that, I don't do records. I just do like a range of wins.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not going to do that today. Those going to give division winners, but yeah, baseball I feel like it's hard to predict really because anything can happen, honestly. So
very true.
Yeah, so division winners. Let's start in the NL. We'll start with the NL East. I got the Braves winning that division. What about you?
Yeah, I definitely have the Braves, and I mean, if I had to take a second, I'd go Mets. But I just think they'll probably be like every year, where the Mets jump out ahead and then don't hold the lead.
Well, I mean, the Mets are already having some of their bad luck there with a Diaz, the unfortunate Diaz injury in the WBC.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, as a Mariners fan, we all love Edwin Diaz, so that sucks, and it sucks to not hear him coming out to them trumpets next year.
It will. So, but. Yeah, like I said, Braves, I still feel like, I know they've choked in the playoffs, but they still have one of the most well-rounded teams in the league.
Oh,
so,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, the Central, I got, this one's kind of hard, I feel like, to predict. I feel like this is a division where really anything can happen, but I do have the Cardinals just barely beating out the Brewers for division. I want to say, too, I wouldn't be surprised, I don't think they will, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Cubs make a run, too. I think the Cubs could be sneaky good this year, so...
That is literally exactly what I was going to say. I don't see the. Shoot! What's the fourth team? Why did I just draw a blank there?
Let's see. We got Cardinals, Brewers, Cubs, Reds, Pirates.
Yes, Reds and Pirates. Those two teams at the bottom are going to be very bad, especially probably the Pirates. I think the Reds will be bad, but maybe not very bad. Actually, you know what? They're both going to suck. But. I can completely agree with what you said. I think I would just have to go Cardinals based on just overall talent on the roster. It is possible if, like, Christian Yelich gets somehow back to what he was a couple years back, the Brewers could make a run at that thing because they have the pitching, there's no doubt, especially the top two. But, yeah, I'm going Cardinals, then Brewers, then Cubs.
Yep, that's exactly what I got, too. So.
Yep.
All right, the NL West. I do have the Padres winning this division this year. I think the Padres take it. The Dodgers will be right on it. I mean, it's going to be a heated battle all year between the Dodgers and Padres for that. So, yeah, but I got the Padres just barely eking out over the Dodgers. The Giants, I know the last couple of years have been weird for them. They came out of nowhere in 21, and last year they took that step back last year. They could be good, but they also could be really bad, so I kind of just have them right there in the middle. So
I don't know about the Giants pitching right now, I guess. That kind of scares me. I would say they're not terrible or whatever on offense. They got some players, but, man, I would not be surprised the Diamondbacks are better than the Giants next year, although maybe that's kind of hot takey. But, no, definitely, man, this one actually, even to this point right now, I'm not exactly sure who I would pick over if I'm going Dodgers or Padres, but I think I agree with you with the Padres right now, especially if they, like they always do, maybe make a trade mid-season for a starting pitcher, because I think that might be their one thing that's not completely to par with the Dodgers. But, yeah, it should be a good race for the two. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, and then the wild cards I've got for the NL are the the Dodgers, the Phillies, and the Mets. Those are the three teams I have as a wild card teams.
Phillies, huh? I'm actually.
I know they just lost Rhys Hoskins, but I mean,
yeah, he's not like a lead or anything. That sucks. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. But
if Trey Turner plays any way that he did in the WBC, then man,
correct. That's huge. And this is one thing I didn't. I did division winners, and I kind of completely spaced wild card. This is reminiscent of our football preview episode where I didn't do any homework, or screwed up my homework. But if I had to go wild cards, I'll go either one of Padres or Dodgers. I'll go Mets for sure. And then a third one. That's a tough one. I guess you know what? You almost have to go Phillies. You just have to.
Yeah. All right. Now for the AL, starting with the East. Man, I've been really back and forth in this one. I do think the Blue Jays can win this division.
Yeah.
And I know the Yankees are already having kind of some questions with their health and stability with that rotation. Also, I know Montas is dealing with some injuries. But I still feel like the Yankees are just overpowering on offense. So I still have them winning the division this year, but with the Blue Jays right behind them. The Rays will make it interesting too. And the Orioles too. The Orioles came out of nowhere last year too, and they could be a team that sneaks in there too. But
yeah.
Yeah, this
is chalk right now, but I'm definitely going Yankees to win the division. I think Blue Jays will be close, but I don't know that it'll be extremely close, like right down to the wire. Let's just say that. I think the Yankees are just kind of stacked right now. Although, yes, like you said, health problems. But I'll go with Yankees and Blue Jays, and then I'm not going to announce my third because that's part of my bold choices later on. So.
Okay. All right. The Central. I feel like this is always a weak division. I do think the White Sox will bounce back now that they got rid of Dinosaur over there. So I think they'll be a little better, and they definitely have the talent. But I still think the Guardians are going to win this division just because of their pitching rotation. They definitely have questions still offensively, but their pitching, I feel like, is what will carry them to at least winning the division. I got the Guardians winning it, then the White Sox right behind them. And then the Twins I got right there in the middle, too. The Twins can go either way, I feel like, as well.
Yep, I would agree with you. At least I agree with you for the winner. I think it's probably like 90% going to be Cleveland. Man, if I had to go second, though, I might go Twins second. I don't know.
I wouldn't argue with that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then if I have to go third, I hate them, but the Royals had some good young talent last year, and I know they're not like
really
just stacked in any. I don't like saying it, but I could see them snaking that.
Does one of your friends have a gun to your head right now?
No, they do not, and maybe I'm jinxing the crap out of them. That would be nice as well.
Okay, there you go. Royals to the moon.
Yeah.
I will say I think I'm actually flipping that on you. I think the Tigers are actually a team that are going to improve, the young team that could improve this year. So
yeah, I was thinking about that, but man, I don't know. I did, because going into last year, I thought they would be a lot better than they were, and they did do a lot better near the end of the year, which that's why I'm giving the Royals credit right now. They kind of did as well, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not sold on anything other than like Screwball at the pitching staff, and then. Man, I don't know that offense. Like, I can only name the guy from the Cubs, and I can't even Javi Baez. I don't know. I just don't know that I love any of their any spots on that team. I guess that's all. Although I do think they're not going to be terrible. That division might just be kind of overall bad, but they might not have a really crappy team like they sometimes do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, and that brings us to the AL West.
Yeah.
And, I guess, I am a homer, right? So,
yeah.
Obviously I'm picking the Mariners to win the division this year. I do believe that they can finally get over the hump, and I believe that the whole new thing with playing every team and taking games away from playing the Astros, so now we're going to play them 13 times, will help. Astros obviously can be without Altuve for the first at least 2 months of the season, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I know that's just beginning of the season, but still, when it comes down to like division race and everything, it matters.
Oh, any game counts.
Yeah, it matters.
It all counts.
So, and I think the Mariners are only going to play the Astros one series without Altuve, so that's what it is. But I don't know. I think the Astros are going to take a little bit of a step back this year, and the Mariners for me, when I look at predictions, especially for wins, I look at WAR stuff, and I look at like the improvements and what was added and taken away from as far as WAR goes. And right now, I've got the Mariners at a plus of about 4 or 5 WAR, and that's just taking into the accounts of replacing Henniger with Teo basically, replacing Frazier with Wong, expecting a full healthy season of France. Raleigh's going to have a better WAR because he's going to have a better whole season. Julio's going to get better.
Yep.
And the wild card, which we'll get here to later, especially in bowl predictions, if Kelnick, if he continues what he's been doing in the spring, or really even half of what he's been doing in the spring, that's going to be a great WAR improvement there, which should actually put it over the +4 or 5 that's currently at. So I do have the Mariners at 95 wins, I'd say right now. I think 95 I feel like would be the floor, and if everything goes right, like if everything falls into place, again, I'm going to get called a homer for this, but what else is new? This is a 100-win team if everything falls into place and goes right.
I do not disagree with you in any way, shape, or form, especially if it's similar to last year where our starting pitching stays relatively healthy. I mean, last year it was overly relatively healthy.
Yeah.
I know that's not going to happen again. We just need to avoid serious injuries. You know, you can have a guy go on the IL here and there. I don't know. I was just looking at our pitching staff earlier, and it's nuts, if you ask me. Like I said on Facebook, I might be a homer, but it's ridiculously good. And if the bullpen can kind of hold serve last year, I know that they outperformed themselves last year a little bit and maybe leveled off near the end. If they can just kind of hold serve with what they're doing at the end, I mean, guys like Matt Brash and I expect Sewald to take like a little step back. I'm sure he did last year from the year before. He'll do that again. Munoz is just ridiculous. We got some guys in that pen, and maybe Prelander, Baroa, maybe later on in the season. So we got some reinforcements. If we stay relatively healthy, I'm not worried about the offense. If we stay relatively healthy on the pitching, our pitching is going to be top, 1 to 4 in the MLB. So, it's completely a 100-win possibility if things fall into place. And I agree with you. It's Mariners, then Astros, then Rangers.
That's exactly what I have too. Yep. Yeah, Mariners, Astros, Rangers. I guess we'll just sidetrack here real quick and just I guess we'll kind of go into our Mariners preview here a little bit.
Sure.
Because while you're on the top of the bullpen, I do think they are going to regress a little bit this year. But even saying that, I mean, they were top 3, top 4 bullpen last year.
Oh yeah.
That regression, I still believe they'll be a top 10, top 7 bullpen. But
it's not going to be like nails like during the middle of the season where we literally didn't have to worry about anything for like a month. It's not going to be like that. But we do have some top end guys that are going to be nails. It's just will those middle and lower tier guys be good enough to get us as many late game wins as we're used to in the last couple of seasons?
For sure. And I mean, to that point though, I feel like it'll be made up though because the offense is going to be vastly improved this year. So I feel like that's going to even it
100%.
out in a way. So So where they'll regress a little bit in the bullpen, I expect the offense will make up for it by being even better this year. So
it's going to be the wild. I mean, there's going to be guys that we know are going to take those steps forward. It's going to be Cal Raleigh and J Rod and Teoscar.
Yeah, Teoscar.
Those are going to be upgrades over last year, over themselves, over who they replaced. It's going to be the guys like Suarez. Is he going to stay the same, or is he going to regress? Is France going to stay healthy and do better than he did at the end of last year? And is Colton Wong going to have a season like he did 2 years ago, or that was pretty bad, or last year, which was pretty good? And then JP is
he's a wild because he's shown. He's shown the capability of being a near 300 hitter. He's even shown some power. I mean, the playoffs last year against Verlander, taking him to that upper deck. I mean, and he did bulk up a little bit this offseason too. So I think JP is going to be more consistent this year for sure.
I would hope so. I truly hope so. That he's so streaky that I wish that he could, even if he wasn't going to have those top end times, I wish that he would be a little more consistent. That would help. That would go a long way to helping.
Yeah, for sure.
Whoa, what do you got? There?
Just Amber Alert came across. So.
oh no! Oh, that's not good. And then, of course, like you said, JK is huge. There's no doubt about it. The kind of transition from us being a great offense or just a really good offense kind of hinges on him. Not all the way. If he goes back to being cruddy JK, then we can still we can still get through it if
Yeah.
other guys are all having great years. But
plus, having that, he's going to be platooning to start out with Pollock. So having that now where he doesn't need to be an
Correct.
everyday guy is going to help him out a lot too.
Yeah,
so.
Agreed. And then if he starts hitting well, maybe you lessen that platoon a little bit and make him more of an everyday guy. But it would be good to easing him into it is fine, and then you have Pollock play a little more DH than maybe he's used to or whatever. But either way, we got options, and I love the roster from top to bottom right now, quite honestly.
Yeah, because on the top of Kelnick, let's see, he's hitting 430 right now in spring training. And he just took Jacob deGrom for a triple down the line a few days ago. So I mean, I know it's spring training.
His quad injury is supposedly very minor, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. So
and yes, we know it's spring training, but with his case,
with him,
it's the attitude. Yeah, it's the attitude. It's the confidence, the ways he carries himself. It's night and day from this year to what it was the last couple of years. Like he looks and talks like a totally different new person. He's got that maturity now. He's shown he's got that maturity. What I will look to see though is when he does hit, because it's going to happen. It's baseball.
Yeah.
When he hits the slump, that first slump of the season, how he handles that is going to he's going to tell us if he really has reach that maturity level where he's able to get through it. Because obviously it's baseball, you're going to go through your slumps, but how do you handle it and can you bounce back from it? So if he's able to show all that this year and do that, like I said, we don't need him to be the top level prospect that we were expecting to be. If he can be even half of that, I say if he can hit just even 220, 225, 20 to 25 bombs and 15 to 20 stolen bases, and that is huge if we can get that level.
Oh, of course.
So
absolutely it is.
I mean, I just wrote down what I believe the lineup is going to look like for opening day and for in general. I know Dylan Moore might be starting the season on the IL, so that kind of cancels out that platoon we had with Wong. But what I believe it's going to be, we're probably going to have Wong leading off, Julio second, Ty third, Teo fourth, Suarez fifth, Cal Raleigh sixth. Whoever's going to DH, our DH is going to be kind of fun to watch this year because we're going to have so many options. We could have Cooper Hummel. We could have Cooper Hummel DH, Tom Murphy, or Cal on days that he doesn't catch. Haggerty chipping some speed there at DH. So, I mean, whoever we have at DH, I believe will be hitting seventh. And then we'll have Kelnick / Pollock there, that platoon at eighth. And then JP rounding at ninth. That's got to be probably the deepest lineup that the Mariners have had in a very long time.
Yeah, it's big time for sure. It's exciting to think about. There's no doubt about it.
Sure. All right, so I guess we kind of gave our Mariners preview there. So just to round it out with talking about the playoffs here. We had the Yankees. Well, I think we had the same division winners: Yankees, Mariners, Guardians.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So now obviously we'll have the Astros as a wild card. And then the Blue Jays, and then the Rays. So. Pretty much. That's what actually, both sides, AL and NL, have got the same exact playoffs as last year.
Oh yeah, well, at least you do.
Well, what do you got?
Difference. Well, I'll give away one of my three bold takes for the MLB, and I think the Rays do not make the playoffs, and the Baltimore Orioles do.
I like it.
Yep.
Who are your other two wild cards?
Astros and Blue Jays, for sure.
Okay. And then, I mean, if we look ahead then, I mean, championship predictions, I mean, the ALCS and NLCS, I do want to say I'd have just to go real quick, the Mariners, I would have the Mariners, I have them with one of the top two records, so they would be having that bye. And I would have them beating the Rays in the ALDS in 4, but then losing to the Yankees, I know that kind of hurts to say, losing to the Yankees in ALCS in 7, and I would have the Braves over the Padres in 6 games in NLCS, and in the World Series I have the Braves over the Yankees in 7.
Yeah, I don't know about matchups or anything, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'll say we'll get there. I don't know or care who gets there in the NL, and I'm not going to predict any winners just right now. I just can't do it. But I think this could be the year. Let's just say that. I'm gonna go big for once in my life.
Wow, you're out homering the homer here. All right.
Yeah, it's true. Weird, huh?
I just took a drink to that. So.
Yeah. Ask me about, I don't know, mid-season All-Star break, and then maybe I'll have my full-on playoffs prediction.
All right. All right. Let's get to our bold predictions then real quick before we move on to some NFL news here. Let me get this out. All right. I realize I said Mariners bold predictions and then MLB bold predictions, and I forgot to do MLB bold predictions, so I'm going to be doing that totally off the top of my head right now.
I only have two, and I don't know if I have a third one, so we'll see.
Well, let's start with our M's bold predictions. So mine, I'll say one of mine, and you can say one of yours. So
Sure.
one of mine, I have the Mariners having a top 5 offense this year.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I know that we've kind of went over this, and I think ours are kind of similar, but I'll go with my kind of lesser one. I already said this. I don't know if this is a rule, like if two players from the same team can participate in the home run derby, but I guess one of my bold predictions for the Mariners would be Cal Raleigh participates in the home run derby in Seattle.
With Julio?
With Julio, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned in the chat last night. Like, I don't know if I'd want Cal to participate in the home run derby though.
Yeah, I get it. I know all that, but Julio did fine afterwards.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, Julio is built totally different. I'm not saying Cal's not either, but I mean, Julio's on a whole his own planet.
I'm not saying I would love it completely because I didn't even love Julio being in it, honestly. Although it was fun to watch, but it just that's a prediction I'm gonna go with.
Well, that would be fun.
Yeah.
All right, my next bold prediction: the Mariners will have at least 5 All-Stars.
Oh, okay. Now I'm trying to remember what our third one is pretty similar. I say Julio Rodriguez finishes in the top 3 in MVP voting.
Oh, you changed that because you changed that a little bit, didn't you? You made it a little more spicy.
Well, because you yelled at me, and then so it wasn't good enough what I had the first time. So now top 3, and that means he could win it. That means he could win it. But he's going to be in the top 3.
Yeah. For those of you at home, we kind of in our group chat talked about our bold predictions last night, and originally Marcus just was saying that Julio would get MVP votes, and I kind of just called him out on that because I didn't really think that was bold necessarily because I feel like that's a given. He should get at least an MVP vote. But so I guess he changed it. So.
Yeah, I changed it because you yelled at me.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, and then I think our last one is the same. I'm saying 2.
Roughly.
Roughly.
Because technically with yours, okay, you go first.
2 of the 3 Cy Young finalists will be Mariners, and that could either be a combo of what I'm saying. Any of the 3 between Castillo, Kirby, and Ray. I do think Ray is going to get back to form this year.
Okay, I agree with you there. And I know this is very unlikely, but I'm just going that George Kirby is going to win the Cy Young. That was my bold prediction.
And I would love that because I put a $10 bet on him to win Cy Young, and they would pay me out $1,200. So
I hope you win $1,200.
I will pay you $1 out of that if I do.
I think 12 is.
Oh yeah, 12 because you're a Seahawks fan.
Yeah,
12.
Yeah.
12.
Oh
12.
yeah, no, but okay.
Then just a real quick honorable mention to go with my kind of go along with my Mariners have at least 5 All-Stars prediction. One of those at least 5 All-Stars, Jared Kelenic.
Yeah, that's pretty bold, no doubt.
Yeah, so.
But I like it.
Well, that's the point of bold. Bold's supposed to be spicy.
Fair enough.
It's supposed to be a danger witch. So.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, MLB. I guess MLB bold predictions. You go ahead and say your other one because you gave away one.
Yeah, I really only had 2, and my second one is just, and I don't know how to quantify this exactly, but I'm going to say Mike Trout is not going to be Mike Trout. I don't know what that means, but just take it for what it's worth. And I think, for one, he's not going to dominate the Mariners all year like he normally does.
Please
he's just
knock on wood with that one.
What?
Please knock on wood with that one.
Yeah, I know. Well, what's the point? Well, if I don't, what's the difference? It's just going to be the same as always. It's not like I'm hurting anything.
Let's see.
Mike Trout will not be Mike Trout. I don't know what that means, but that's what I'm saying.
I think I just came up with one on top of my head, and I think it would be pretty
There you
bold.
go.
I think the Miami Marlins will have a winning season this year.
Yeah, they got good pitching. Although they did trade Pablo to Minnesota, right?
Yeah, but they did get a Luis Arias.
Oh yeah, and I do like
They still have Sandy, so
yeah, that's a good trade for both
I
teams.
think the Marlins take a big step forward this year and have a winning record this year. So
I could see that.
My other one, I did have something in my head, but tequila's starting to take over, so I took it out.
Oh jeez.
Let's see. This is what happens now, I guess. So this is our life now.
Yep. I truly didn't have a third one, and
I should have at least two. You had at least two. I should have two.
That's true.
I will think of it. I will say at some point. I'll remember it. And I'll get to it before the end of this episode. So I will remember it. So
you say so.
I'll try to remember it. So. All right, so yeah, that wraps up, I think, pretty much our MLB preview here. I mean, that took up a bulk of our time, which is what it should, because it's baseball season, so that's what's going to take up a bulk of our time right now. But yeah, we'll get now to NFL free agency. So this is going totally off the top of my head, because like I said, no notes on the show, off script, as we like to say. But yeah, I'll just jump right into it. I'll just quickly go over the Seahawks real quick. So Seahawks have completely purged and remade the defensive line, starting with the signing of Draymond Jones from the Broncos. Can't remember the exact terms of the deal. I want to say 3 years, $50-something million.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Huge. I wasn't expecting anything like that. Huge signing for the Hawks. That's going to fill a huge need there. Then they went and signed Devin Bush. I mean, that's we'll see what happens there. Maybe the Hawks can fix him. We'll see. Because I think there is still some potential in there, so we'll see if we can get anything out of him. Sure. And then the other two big ones, Evan Brown, I want to say is his name. Evan Brown, guard/center. He's going to be playing center for the Seahawks, so that's huge. I know his grade for the Lions was better when he was a center than when he was a guard, so he's definitely a center. And then the other big signing, which kind of was a surprise and a bit of a shock, and starts in speculation about Jamal Adams out here, is Julian Love, signing him from the Giants. So there's some talk about some schematic changes where maybe we might actually look at using Jamal in kind of that linebacker rushing spot more, that hybrid role, which would be great.
It would be ideal because he can't cover. So, yeah, you should do that.
So the signing of Love, and we do Seth Neal. Looking out our back end, our secondary is just absolutely stacked, I'd say. You can call me Homer saying, but I mean, it is. You got Tariq there, Kobe. You got Julian Love now, Quandre, Jamal, and then still got Ryan Neal, too. So we're pretty good there in the secondary. So we just got to shore up that front seven there. And then there is the possibility. They've been talking, and I think both sides want to make it happen. They just got to figure it out. Bobby Wagner could be making a return to the Seahawks. So, I know you're a fan of that.
Big time, because I know he may or may not have lost a step, which not a huge step, but he may or may not have. But the guy's invaluable when it comes to the on-field general type stuff, and I don't want you to have that.
Exactly. So, that was a big part of. I think that's a big part of what we were missing last year. It led to so many breakdowns.
Pass on that.
So those are big signings we made. If you want, before I talk about any draft updates or anything else, you want to talk about your Niners, what you guys have done?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we haven't done a whole lot. I mean,
have you gotten rid of the salt yet?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. Like we like to say, it sucks losing 4 quarterbacks in 1 year, but I'm over last year right now, and I'm moving forward. So right now, as things stand, we are bringing back 19 of our 22 starters from the NFC Championship game, and a few of the quote-unquote highlights, either lowlights or highlights. We have lost some depth. There's no doubt about it, but that's just going to happen. It happens every year where we lose these guys that we sign for nothing, and then 2 years later we've turned them into something, and then they leave for more, and we just got to redo it. So that is what it is, and hopefully we can continue to churn out defensive linemen that come from nowhere and become something, because that seems to happen every year. So, but like I said, 19 out of 22 starters return. One free agent signing that I was not expecting. There's maybe two. One is the guy we had last year, Jake Brendel, our starting center. I thought 100% he was gone, and he took less money to come back on a 4-year deal, so that's huge because I think stability at the center position is huge. He was a Pro Bowl alternate last year, not that Pro Bowl's all that you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, to be named to it still is kind of an honor.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, and so it's huge to get him back, and then obviously signing Javon Hargrave from the Eagles. That's going to be absolutely huge for us because we've struggled to find that second pass rusher besides Nick Bosa, and obviously he's elite at that. But we're going to have, in my opinion, pressure from the middle is more important than pressure from the outside, and it's also extremely more difficult to find. And there's only a few guys that do it, and Hargrave is top 3 in the NFL the past few years. Him, Chris Jones, and guy for the Giants. I don't remember his name, but or maybe it's the Jets guy. Maybe Quinnen Williams. I don't remember if you're going like pass win rate from. But there's a Giants guy that's pretty good too. But either way, it's going to be huge having him on that defensive line. So other than that, we've lost some guys. We've brought in some guys that are cheaper replacements. It is what it is. When you got good players that you have to give money to, you're not going to be able to re-sign everybody all the time. So it's all about just keep holding serve and getting back to the spot they were at last year, hopefully, because they're not going to be any less talented next year. So it's all about, like I say every year,
and call me biased, but the Seahawks are coming up on you. So
there's no doubt about it. There's zero doubt in my mind that we're going to be the top 2 teams in that division next year.
Yeah. It's a shame Rival Talk got canceled.
Yeah, what a shame. Yeah.
I guess before any draft stuff, trying to think of other big things. Well, obviously Jimmy G, he's a Raider now. Aaron Rodgers emerged from his darkness retreats. I guess he was originally going to retire.
Yet.
Yeah, maybe because there was some news that came out today that I guess the teams aren't even talking. So.
Good. I'm sick of him. I don't want to hear his name ever again. I'm sick of Aaron Rodgers. I just wish he would retire.
I'm pretty sure Packers fans feel the same. So
yeah, I'll bet.
But yeah, he wants to play for the Jets, but I mean, 2 teams need to figure it out. So we'll see. This is probably going to go on for months. So we'll see.
Yeah, great.
We'll see what happens there.
Rodgers that I don't care about.
But if he goes to the Jets, I think the people who will be the most happy, the person who will be the most happy will be Justin Jefferson, because that means that Aaron Rodgers will be throwing him passes next season, the following season. So,
why do you say that? You think he's going
a Green Bay quarterback goes to the Jets?
And then the after the okay, I get it now. All right,
yeah, I've heard this script before.
Okay, you're right. I forgot about the Brett Favre stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess somewhere down the road, Rodgers will probably link up with Wilson and have some corrupt charity measures and all that too. So.
Oh yeah, can't wait.
But yeah, so trying to think of other big moves. Let me know if you think of any that you can remember off the top of your head.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it other than the Niners. Just the big ones I remembered, but other than that, it's just wasn't something I really put that much effort into.
Taylor Heineke, he went to the Falcons, didn't he?
Falcons are yes, correct.
Yeah, Heineke went to the Falcons, so their quarterback position will be interesting to keep an eye on. Oh, they also got Falcons. They got Jesse Bates. That was a big one. So
yeah, that was big.
That defense. Orlando
I'm not
Brown.
really into paying the safeties that amount of money, so I'm fine with that.
Orlando Brown to the Bengals. That shores up that offensive line. That's pretty much all the big ones I can think of off the top of my head. So yeah, draft stuff. I guess quick draft preview. So I mean, for me personally, I've never been so invested in the draft as I am this year. I'm doing mock drafts on PFF almost every day. It's kind of fun. The Seahawks are in such an awesome position that it's very rare to be in.
That must be nice.
It is very nice. Being a playoff team already, and a team that's already pretty dang talented, and has high expectations, but also having a top 5 pick. So that doesn't happen a lot.
No, it doesn't.
Now, the Panthers traded up to the number 1 pick. A lot of speculation that they may take Anthony Richardson there, which personally would be a big reach. I would love taking Anthony Richardson at 5 because I think that'd be fine. His draft stock's gone up. And
it's a different situation. Yeah, you can sit for a couple of years. Yeah.
But if you're the Panthers, you're drafting him, you're going to throw him right out there into the fire. I don't see that working out at all there. So
I would agree with you.
If they were smart, they would stick with either Young or Stroud. So, But the Panthers moving into that position actually really benefited the Seahawks, and now we're waiting to see what the Cardinals do. Because if the Cardinals choose to trade out to a team that's going to draft a quarterback, then that means the dream scenario, the Seahawks will then be able to take Will Anderson, which would be the dream scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you would love that.
I don't like any of that. I don't want the Cardinals to have him either, but I clearly don't want you to have him, so it just sucks either way.
Yeah, it does kind of suck. But, I mean, hey, maybe the Cardinals...
But it sucks more if a team that's top 2 in the division gets him, there's no doubt.
But, hey, maybe the Cardinals will draft Jalen Carter instead. I personally want to stay the heck away from Jalen Carter. Not really because of the legal stuff. I think that's all...
No, I think he's just been...
No.
I didn't care about that.
Yeah, I didn't really care about it either, but
his physicality has come into question.
Yeah, the fact he couldn't even finish his pro day, he was 10 pounds overweight, I personally...
No, that's got bust written all over it. I wouldn't be surprised if that guy falls to the second round at this point if it keeps happening.
Yeah.
That is, I don't think you can trust anything like that. That's a million times before we've seen a situation like this, and it never works out. So that would be one of the first.
But yeah, looking at that number 5 pick, if Anderson is not there, I would say trade back just a little bit. And maybe 7 or 8, trade with the Raiders, and let them go up to 5, and because Levis would probably be available there at 5. Trade back with them and take Tyree Wilson. Yeah, Tyree Wilson.
Or Texas Tech guy?
Yeah. I know he's coming off the foot injury, but he's been cleared. Everything's good to go, so he should be fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
So either him or Miles Murphy, I'd be fine with there. And then at 20, I would say... in a perfect world, Kalijah Cansey would still be there because I think Kalijah Cansey could be the next big thing at the defensive tackle position. So sure. Kalijah Cansey or Nolan Smith, another edge there, just shore up that edge rush. So
I'm of the big belief that you can never have too many defensive linemen, and sure. I'm kind of the same way with offensive linemen, although more with defensive line just because there's more rotation. But I will never, ever be upset with the 49ers drafting a defensive lineman. And for the longest time, they drafted, I think, 3 years in a row, a first-round defensive lineman. Only one of them really worked out, but I'm never gonna be upset with it.
Yeah, sure. So, honestly, Kalijah Cansey is probably my biggest, I want that guy. That's my biggest, if we can get that guy, I'll be hyped if we get him. So,
yeah. Do you like getting guys? Oh, man, what?
If we want to go quarterback, I'd be fine with Richardson at 5 if he's there. I'd be fine with that because I think with some time to develop, I think he really can be the next big thing at quarterback. So if you let him sit behind Geno for a couple years, that'd be awesome.
For sure.
But otherwise, I would be perfectly fine if they waited till second or third round. I know his stock's gone up a little bit, so it would have to probably be a little bit of a reach in the second round. But Hendon Hooker is who I would be cool with.
100%. I like him quite a bit, actually. So he's
basically
like
you would probably love it if we took
less
him.
Polished Penix, I would say.
I could see it. Yeah. Many ways you can go with that. Would you rather take the Hooker or would you rather take the polished Penix?
Oh, man. You can't go wrong.
Oh, man. This show's not going to last long either.
I'm not going to lie. When I said that, I had no inkling that it was going to be like a play on words, and it happened big time.
That's what she said.
Yep.
All right. Take a quick drink after that one. I would prefer them just to focus defense in the first 2 picks. Like I said, if they can trade back a little bit that first pick just to get some more surplus of picks there, and then still take one of those good edge rushers there, that'd be great. Like I said, the only quarterback pick I would not be upset about is Anthony Richardson. Any other quarterback, I really don't. I mean, Bryce Young's not going to follow us, so I think
no, those top 3 aren't following. Yeah. I hope you get Will Levis myself. I think that's the play.
No, he's going to the Colts. Tom can have him.
Oh God, Levis winning at Levi's, right? I think you need that in your life.
Well, no, you need that then. You need quarterbacks, right?
No. Well, actually, yeah, we do need quarterbacks. As you see, we like to go through them.
So there you go. There's your guy. Trade with us for the number 5 pick. Trade us Nick Bosa.
Okay, we do not have the capability of trading up that high unless. Well, okay.
Yeah, give us Nick Bosa. We'll take Nick Bosa.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No, but no.
All right, but
I'm
so I
all
mean,
aboard the Purdy train if he's healthy, so that's fine with me.
So I feel like we're probably on opposite spectrums here. While I'm so hyped and like really invested in this draft, you're probably the opposite. So, I mean,
I have done zero research whatsoever because we don't draft till the third round, and we do have 3 third-round picks. So that's there's a dog barking. I'm actually taking the dog for a walk right now. I don't know if you couldn't even tell. I drank all my drink and I took the dog for a walk as he was whining. So. You had no idea. But,
look at you, multitasking at its finest.
What was that?
I said, look at you, multitasking at its finest.
Exactly. Well, he was whining, and the wife wasn't happy about him whining, so I took him outside. So, yes. But anyways, yes, we have 3 third-round picks, and that's great and all, but and we've actually nailed the late-round draft almost more than we've nailed the beginning of the draft. So I'm definitely excited about the draft, but there's just there's only so much research you can do. Jesus, Jackson? There's only so much research you can do when a mock draft, the later rounds like that. It's a crapshoot. Yeah. So I have done no research. I'm just going to trust the guys to make the correct picks.
Doing all my mock drafts I've done, I actually have quite a few names that I hope we take in the mid to late rounds as well. So
yeah,
been looking at that. So.
Well, let's just say I want a couple Nebraska guys. I want Trey Palmer, the wide receiver out of Nebraska. Yep. And the late rounds, I would like Garrett Nelson, who is an edge rusher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me personally, I have my eyes on a safety from Florida, Rashad Torrance. He's mid round, I think around 5th or 6th round, so he'd be a nice addition to have there.
Well, I guess I should mention we don't have a kicker right now, so maybe draft a kicker. But I'm not big on rookie kickers, especially when you're a good team. I'm still of the mindset that we need to be trying to bring gold back, and if we can't, then I would go for Eddie Pinheiro, who's a free agent kicker, and I really like him. So that's my choice for kicker.
Maybe Cody Parkey's out there still, I think, isn't he?
Pass. Yeah.
Well. All right, well, I think that's all we've got for NFL talk there then.
Wow,
do you have any sports updates from your own neck of the woods or interests you want to talk about?
Sports interest from my neck of the woods. Well, Nebraska didn't make the NIT postseason again in basketball, so that's
did they even make the CBI?
Well, the CBI is kind of meant for – we would have if you saw the teams that were in the CBI, but that's kind of meant for smaller schools that just don't have an opportunity. It's a team like Nebraska that's in, a major conference would be looked down at for trying to go to the CBI. So, no, I don't think we would have accepted an invitation or even tried to do that. But that's unfortunate. We had a pretty good end of the year after starting terribly, so it would have been nice. But, what's new? Other than that, we do have Nebraska football has their eyes on the number 1 overall recruit in next year's cycle. Mm-hmm. And if he comes here, he says he will bring some of his friends who are also 5 stars. That would be something if Matt Rule can rule the day. And also the number 1 overall recruit, Dylan Raiola, is a quarterback. He's a legacy. He's our best center in Nebraska football history's son. So have that going for us.
All right. So maybe some better days ahead for Nebraska football.
I'm not going to believe it till I see it. I'm done thinking that they're going to do something when they don't. I have to be shown. But yes, it would be nice.
No worries, man.
Yeah, if we even make it.
Did you make a bracket at all?
Yeah, and then it was the same bracket I put in 4 different whatever places. Wow, that's what she said. I didn't want to say that, but I couldn't think of any other
4 different places.
Any other words. But last night when UCLA lost, it officially got crushed because that was my champion.
That was your first mistake picking a Pac-12 team. I could have told you otherwise.
Yeah, I know, but I had a feeling about them, and man, if not for a crazy half-court shot, basically a half-court shot, at least would have moved on. But man, Gonzaga does things when they're not supposed to do things, and they don't do things when they're supposed to do things. So I should have known.
They're basically the modern day Duke. So
pretty much.
I
still have my Final Four until UCLA lost. So now
all I have left is Texas. I have Texas winning it all, so thankfully they're still in this. Hopefully they win tonight. I also picked them because I picked them too because I decided I liked the odds I had and the amount of money, so I placed a bet on them. So if they win it all, I get like $300 or something. So that'd be nice.
And you'll probably win a free video game from VGF.
Oh yeah, that's true. So,
yeah, don't forget that.
Oh hey, I just had actually an idea. This is totally going off topic, but hey, this is the off script sports show.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. Tom, I know you're probably watching this. Maybe you're still watching this. Let's add in a segment. Tom, I want you in the comments or somewhere, just message me on Facebook. Give me your bets for weekly when we do this every 2 weeks.
Tom's bets.
Yeah,
like
Tom's
that.
bets.
Yeah,
We're gonna make that a segment. Tom's bets. Give me like
right.
three good bets that you want to suggest to people to make. Tom's bets. We're gonna.
And let's say we're not going to bring this up to him until he brings it up to us. So that means he has to watch.
That's true. Yep. So you better be watching. You better still be watching.
Test him.
So,
we will test him.
We'll test him. Tom's bets. A possible new feature coming soon. So.
Yeah.
So I mean, my sports world. I guess if you want to take a nap, you can now. But so Sounders, obviously out here in Seattle, we have the Sounders. They're off to a pretty decent start. They won the first 2 games pretty handily.
Hold on, one quick thing. Is there a sound that YouTube makes when you lose a subscriber? Because I just heard it.
Anyways, so Sounders, they're right now they're 2-1-1. The last couple games were tough games, but they played pretty well against LAFC last week. The defending champs, it was a 0-0 draw, but they played. It was a heck of a game. Some of the worst officiating I've ever seen, though.
0-0 draw, man, that must have been just exciting.
Okay,
so exciting.
It was. There are 0-0 draws that are actually really exciting and good matches, and that was one of them. Okay, so
Yep.
outside of the horrible officiating in that game, but yeah, it is what it is. Those refs, though. Sounders taking on Kansas City. Yeah, taking on Kansas City tomorrow. So
maybe I'll go check it out.
So that's what's going on there with the Sounders. I'm a Man City fan, if you didn't know that as well. EPL. Right now they're in a race against Arsenal. They're behind Arsenal by about, I think it's currently 7 points, I want to say. But they are ahead of Man U. That's all that matters. I don't care how good Man U's done this year. Sorry, Tom, but City's still ahead of them. And they got Bayern coming up in the Champions League. So hopefully, that's all I care about right now for Man City is the Champions League. So hopefully they can finally get over the hump and win that one. So
yeah, let's just hope for that.
I'm telling you, next time you come out to Seattle in like 10 years or so, we're going to take you out to the soccer game. And you'll see that in person, watching soccer in person, it's a lot of fun. Okay.
Well, most sports in person are fun to watch for one reason or another. But yeah,
if you gave it a chance, I could get you into it. It's a lot more than just running around kicking the ball. And I learned that when I got married.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of running around and flopping as well.
You watch basketball, there's flopping in basketball.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough.
You're a Lakers fan. You got LeBron out there.
Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan, not a LeBron fan.
Well, you're a Lakers fan, though, so you kind of root for LeBron, though.
It's unfortunate that I am. I blame Kobe and Shaq, and there's no turning back now.
All right. Well, then, we'll get to our last segment here. What are we playing / watching? So, got any good shows you're watching or any good games you're playing lately?
Well, good shows was The Last of Us, and that's over
now.
So right now, I suppose
we can talk a little bit about that. The Last of Us was incredible.
Absolutely amazing. And while I get what people are saying when they're saying they feel it was rushed, I get it only because, near the end there wasn't any infected. It was more of the relationships than the drama or the horror of the infected. They didn't really show that all that much. But honestly, I didn't notice it until I started reading all the comments.
That though, I feel like that's where you got to separate the game from the movie because, of course, in the game, with what you're doing in the game, of course,
Correct.
There's going to be more encounters with infected and whatnot. Because if you were just playing through it and you weren't coming across infected, well, it's not much of a game. So I feel
exactly.
I feel like you kind of have to separate the game from the show in that perspective. So
I would agree
because really, these shows too, like with The Last of Us, it's really more of a humanity approach too with the post-apocalyptic world. So I can understand that argument to a degree, but also at the same time I feel like you really gotta separate the two there, and it's not supposed to be the same exact thing. Like it kind of is its own thing. So
yeah, I loved every second of it, and for a guy that did not like the game, I loved the show. And I actually watched a Let's Play of the video game alongside it. Like every time an episode on HBO was done, I would go watch the corresponding parts on this YouTube Let's Play. And I mean, they did a great job. It was pretty spot on, for most parts. They did a great job, and that just kind of goes to show how good the story of the game was. Although I didn't like the gameplay, the story was elite. There's no doubt about it. I was shocked as all H at the ending. I had no idea that was coming.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
it's an ending, all right. Yep.
Yeah, he was much more of a destroying badass in the show than he was in the game at the end there. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that whole hospital scene was insane.
It was intense. I was kind of in shock afterwards, and because you want to root for him, but he just did some terrible stuff. But it's like you don't think he's the bad guy still.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, hey, my friend is yelling at me. He's driving his car across and I'm outside. He just yelled at me from his car. So this is what we're doing right now.
What a show!
Wow, my neighbor. I have a friend my neighbor who's actually my friend, and we hang out quite a bit. It's pretty cool.
Wow,
so
you have friends.
There's that. Yeah, not too many, but enough.
All right. Well, yeah. So Last of Us, incredible show. Right now, we've been watching. I don't know if you watch Ozark. Have you ever watched Ozark?
Oh yeah, we watched that, and that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's pure anxiety the entire way.
We're in the middle of season 4, or getting towards the end of season 4. So it's been a great show. So yeah. If
there's any show, and no spoilers here, if there's any show where you know that if you've had 20 seconds of things not going wrong, you know that something terrible is about to happen because there's literally no time during that show where anybody is comfortable.
Yeah, it's kind of like Breaking Bad in a way, like that. So
yeah, kind of. I would say it's almost even more than that, but it's on that level. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a better show, but it's like, man, Marty and Wendy. What can they get into next? Yeah.
All right. Well, any games? Any good games?
That platinum? Yeah, I was going to say you got that platinum in Harry Potter.
I'm not getting a platinum. That's for sure. But I'm trying to 100%. I'm trying to 100% all the things to do in the game. But yeah, Hogwarts Legacy. If you have not played it yet, go play it. Even if you're not a Harry Potter person, go play it. Absolutely phenomenal game. If you've watched the channel, we've talked about Horizon before. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn is the best game ever made, my number one game, but
correct.
I do have to place a 1A, 1B on it. 1A, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Wow.
1B, Hogwarts Legacy. If they do bring Quidditch to Hogwarts Legacy, because I feel like that's the one thing that could hold it back. If they do,
that's a DLC for sure.
If they do at some point bring Quidditch to Hogwarts Legacy and they nail it, I can tell you Hogwarts Legacy is going to overtake number 1 and Horizon Zero Dawn be number 2. I can tell you that right now.
I don't know how they couldn't bring that, quite honestly. Yeah. That's an online cash cow right there.
It is. Or at least remake Quidditch World Cup from the GameCube. That was fun.
Yeah, so. I remember I had that for PS2. Yeah, good times.
So. But yeah, again, Hogwarts Legacy, go play it. Right now, I'm getting into the show 23 that just came out, early access. I'm getting that. I also started playing. I don't know if you ever heard of this game. Did you ever hear of the Stanley Parable?
Yes, I have.
Well,
you're playing that?
Well, they've updated it. They have the Ultra Deluxe edition, which is kind of actually Stanley Parable 2. And it's been really interesting.
Oh.
So,
and it's on PS5?
Yeah, it's on PlayStation now. They have it on consoles.
Because I think like the first one came out on like either computer or PS3 or something.
Yeah, it was on computer. Yeah, but they made a console edition. Now they updated it too, and they've kind of made it a sequel within the original game, which is really cool.
It's basically just a very odd.
Yeah,
I don't know what you call it.
It's hard to describe and talk about, but yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun. So.
All right, well, I'll look into that. Right now, the only game I'm playing is currently Metroid Prime Remastered for the Switch, and I'm just waiting for the DLC for Horizon Forbidden West to come out.
Yes,
and I will play Hogwarts at one point. It's just I haven't got there yet.
Yeah, that DLC's come out. Well, yeah, the DLC for Horizon's come out at the same time as Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So yeah, that's gonna be I guess I'm gonna have no life for a little bit.
Nope.
So.
Well, that's not much different than now then.
Yep, pretty much. So,
ooh.
Because here I am on a Friday evening drinking tequila, talking to you. So.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's about brought us to the end of our premiere episode, and right on the dot, pretty much an hour. So basically, what I expected.
That? Yeah, that's time flies.
Yeah. So.
I was just getting the evil eye from the wife when she came outside to see what I was doing. So, yeah, we do have to go somewhere, but we're fine. Don't worry. It's fine.
All right. Well, yeah, that's what they all say. It's fine.
Yeah, such is life.
All right. Well, yeah, thanks for joining me, Marcus. Again, we'll be doing these, try to do these every 2 weeks or so. So we'll see. We'll try to do this on April 7th, I guess. So
sure.
We'll see if we get that done. That'll be about a week or two into the MLB season, so we can talk a little more baseball then. So, yeah. I guess,
all right.
that's it.
I'm up for it if you are.
Yep. All right. Well, you know the drill. Thank you for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, and hey, Marcus, congratulations on your victory.
Oh, congratulations on your show.